This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
And good evening to you. At 5 o'clock, I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino.
An Indianapolis family has filed a federal lawsuit against the Indianapolis Metro police officers involved in a physical confrontation outside of Shortridge High School last month.
And video shows an IMPD officer hitting a student.
And tonight, the family's lawyer sent us new video of the incident.
Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez is here. Rafael, what new information have you gathered for us tonight?
Well, Amanda and Mark, the new lawsuit gives us new insight into this case. More video, new video, and still so many unanswered questions about the situation. You'll be hearing from the teen's attorney and adult relative tomorrow morning. And we're just learning that City Legal will not comment on the newly filed lawsuit. The newly released video shows Danielle Pointer expressing her frustration after being called to Shortridge High School in Indianapolis. She was called after a school fight involving two of her teenage relatives broke out inside the school last Thursday, August 29th. By the time she arrived, the young men were outside. This video, released by her lawyer, runs for less than 2 minutes. It shows more of the interaction between the people outside and police. We see Pointer's exchange with Metro Police Officer Robert Lawson. Per a federal lawsuit, he allegedly told her, "You want to go to jail? Let's go right now." Moments later, Officer Lawson makes physical contact with the 17-year-old teen. The lawsuit says the officer hit the young man in his left jaw and brought him to the ground. These are the images that went viral and put this incident into the spotlight. The newly filed lawsuit also says the 17-year-old student was headlocked and took a knee to his abdomen before he was arrested and then released. Metro Police Officer Robert Lawson remains on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. That lawsuit filed in federal court here in Indianapolis seeks damages for violating Pointer and the students' civil rights. We'll have much more on this developing story tonight on the news at 6.
There's nothing a child could do in this world to deserve.
She had to wonder what she did wrong. Like, when it was happening, she had to, think, what did I do for her to want to do this to me? That poor baby.
Tonight, we are learning heartbreaking new details about a missing 10-year-old girl from Gas City. Investigators found Skylee Carmack's body in a shed behind her home early this morning. She had been missing since Saturday. Police say her stepmother, Amanda Carmack, has been arrested and charged in connection to Skylee's murder. A 4-day search for a missing 10-year-old girl from Gas City comes to a tragic end.
Skylee's body was located in a shed behind her Gas City home. She was hidden inside a plastic trash bag.
Indiana State Police say Skylee Carmack was killed sometime Saturday evening due to strangulation. Her stepmother, Amanda Carmack, reported Skylee missing that same evening. Amanda has been arrested for Skylee's murder and faces multiple felony charges. This news comes as a devastating shock for family and friends of the Carmacks.
Sad and sickening that anybody could even think of doing that to a child.
Skylee's former stepmother was also there to hear the horrifying news of the child she helped raise for 8 years.
Skylee was very sweet, and she found humor in everything.
Tonight, a family is left with the pain of a little girl's life taken away from them too soon.
She was just happy. She's full of life. She was so lively, and then you watch the life just kind of drain out of her. She became lifeless. She was just sad. You could tell, see it in her eyes.
And family and friends say they have been concerned about Skylee's safety and wish that something would have been done sooner to protect the little girl before it was too late. The community is holding a vigil tonight in memory of Skylee at the Gas City Public Library. RTV6 will be there and will bring you that story tonight on the news at 11.
Now covering education, and it's a bad news, good news situation. Indiana sees double-digit declines in 2 parts of the 2019 Ilearn assessment results, but schools likely won't be penalized for the low scores. The new numbers out today show statewide language arts scores dropped 16 points and math scores dropped 11 points. Governor Eric Holcomb and other top legislators are continuing their push to not hold schools accountable for these low scores this year, since it's the first time Ilearn has been used. State Superintendent of Public Instruction Dr. Jennifer McCormick says changing tests can be a lot to handle.
In the last 10 years, we have dealt with 4 different assessments, and that can be very, very difficult. Again, I dealt with that firsthand when I was a practitioner, and it's not easy. It is, and for the state of Indiana, it is not inexpensive.
Schools already received these 2019 scores, and lawmakers have said in the past they would be low and that they didn't want to penalize school systems for the transitional period this year. The same type of drop in scores happened 5 years ago when changes were made with the iStep test.
A much different field than 24 hours ago when temperatures were in the mid-80s. The sun is out in full force, but it's cooler outside. I'm here with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gravery. Kevin, how long will this gorgeous weather last? Because it is very nice.
You're not going to want to leave the weather office. I would just stay right here. Don't leave the state. Some of the best weather is coming our way over the next few days. Our humidity is pretty much non-existent. You feel that's a change from yesterday. Temperatures are cooler than yesterday, and we can thank this, a north wind, and it's relatively calm, under 10 miles per hour. That will be the case through tomorrow as well, but that will continue to filter in cooler temperatures. I think the coolest temperatures obviously are still to come. 74 in Lafayette, while it's 81 in Bloomington, 79 in Terre Haute, mid-70s in Peru. Tonight will set the stage for a very cool night. Skies will clear. The wind will be light, 69 at 10 o'clock. I think we'll have some patchy fog in spots and close to the 40s in a couple of locations. Lafayette and Peru at 51, 55 in Indianapolis. This doesn't mean summer warmth is out of the forecast, though. I'll show you some of that in the 7-day planner.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. New information tonight about the dump truck driver involved in a deadly pileup crash that killed 2 people in Avon. He is now officially charged. Hendricks County prosecutors charged Danny Lee Williams of Knightstown with causing death while operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, causing serious bodily injury when operating a vehicle while intoxicated, reckless homicide, and leaving the scene of an accident. Police believe Williams triggered the 11-vehicle crash at Rockville Road and County Road 625 East yesterday. Avon police say Gerald Ligon and his wife Rhonda died in the crash. They lived in Danville, and they were both 80 years old. Court records also show that police say Williams admitted to officers that he snorted heroin earlier in the day before the pileup. Williams is also accused of being involved in a hit-and-run crash in Avon also earlier in the day before the fatal wreck. And this isn't Williams' first brush with the law either. Tonight at 6, we dig into his past and show you what we've learned.
Rescue crews are still searching for a man who has been missing since a Labor Day boating accident in Monroe County. The small boat with 7 people on board capsized in the White River near Martinsville Monday. 4 people died, including a 6-year-old boy. 2 others managed to swim to shore, and a man is still missing tonight. The victims were members of a family celebrating the holiday with a cookout and fishing trip.
New tonight, a multi-million-dollar boost to study Indiana's opioid epidemic and fight it, too. Thanks to a federal grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Indiana will receive more than $21 million over 3 years. The money will help researchers collect data on drug overdose patients treated at hospital emergency rooms. The data could help healthcare workers respond more quickly to emerging threats. Money will also go toward creating online opioid prescribing courses for dentists and set new treatment protocols for emergency departments.
Tonight, 90 race car drivers from different leagues will converge at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway dirt track for the Driven to Save Lives BC 39 race. It's a 2-day race that honors the late USAC champion and Noblesville native Brian Clausen. RTV6 Sports Director Dave First is live at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for us tonight. Hey, Dave.
This is quickly becoming a real thing here. Second annual BC 39 Speedway President Doug Bowles is here. The quarter-mile dirt track is behind us. It's going to get really loud really quick here pretty soon because we're just now starting the hot laps. But already we're almost talking a sellout for the next couple of days.
Yeah, we're going to have enough walk-ups. So if people say I made up their mind, they definitely can walk up. But the premium seats are already sold out, which is great. And by that I mean the upper third of the grandstands. We added about 600 seats from last year, so about 6,000 folks. And then folks wandering around. So I bet we'll have 10,000 people on property for a quarter-mile dirt track race tomorrow night. Can't wait.
That's tremendous. Let's flash back to last year. Brady Bacon won the inaugural BC 39, but you take a look at the entry, 90 guys, by the way, and gals. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse, Chase Briscoe, J.J. Yaley. These are all NASCAR guys that are going to be here throughout the week. And then you got the regular guys, too, like Brady, Tyler Courtney, and so on. this thing's packed.
And you forgot Connor.
Oh, yeah, there's a Connor Daly in there.
We got our local guy in there. But, no, it's pretty neat. And the folks that run all year round are unbelievably talented at what they do. And a lot of them are the future stars of our sport. And they have them run against the NASCAR guys. And folks like Connor get a chance to come in and test this out. It's a lot of fun. And for folks that have never done dirt track racing, it's real short. It goes in quick bursts, all the heat race. It is a blast. So I encourage people to come out and experience it.
It was pretty emotional last year, had that inaugural race. Coming back a second year, I get the sense it's even bigger and better. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we had 110 cars for the first race, which you would expect. So everybody kind of thought we'd be 60 or 70. A normal race is about 30. We're at 90, which is pretty amazing, which tells you that this is an important race on the schedule for folks. And the Brian Clausen piece, the Driven to Save Lives piece, organ donation, it's a lot bigger than racing. And that's what I told the guys in the drivers' meeting. Yeah, I know you want to win, but this whole event's really, the message is a little bit bigger racing. And then, NASA's blowing it out, helping us sell that and promote it. And it's great for Brian.
That's tremendous. So take a look at the schedule. It all wraps up tomorrow night here at the BC 39 second annual. And it's only just beginning after that. We've got the Cup guys, Xfinity. Brickyard Weekend is back. 26th annual Brickyard 400 weekend, and it just culminates obviously with Sunday's race. Starts around 2 o'clock or so. And the weather. Congratulations on the weather here this weekend.
We're
not through it yet, though.
But after last year's weather, we're really happy to have this. We feel like we deserve this kind of weather this year. Last year, we rained out all 3 days and had to race on Monday. So we're excited to have this. It's beautiful weather, and we're excited to be in September this year so we can go back to July next year.
That's right. Oh, yeah, July 4th weekend next year in 2020. How did I forget about Connor Daly?
Sorry, because we see him all the time.
That's right. This is a good point.
And you've done such a good job of getting to know all the dirt track guys, the local guys, and getting to those races. You kind of forget about it. But this is only Connor's third or fourth time in a car like this, so it'll be interesting to see him try and work his way through the field.
Midget racing returns to this ultra-fast quarter-mile dirt track here at IMS. Have a great weekend. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Speedway President Doug Bowles. Back to you. So much more. Tyler Courtney will join us, guys, live at 6:18. He's the current midget points leader in the series.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Still ahead, tracking Hurricane Dorian. We are learning more about the devastation the storm has already caused, plus where it is headed now.
Also ahead, a new grocery service introduced in Indianapolis. You won't have to leave your couch to shop for food, but it will cost you.
And last night, you remember, we were staring at radar, looking at these pop-up showers and thunderstorms. It's all about the thermometer now. There's your coolest temperature in my forecast. The warmest will match this with the day of the week. That's what I was talking about. Summer isn't gone quite yet.
Welcome back to RTV6 News at 5. We are learning more about the devastation Hurricane Dorian has caused.
And at least 7 people are dead in the Bahamas. And now we are hearing there are at least 3 storm-related deaths here in the U.S.
I want to give you a live look of the Atlantic Ocean near Jacksonville, Florida. You can see the waters are rough as Dorian skirts by the coast. Forecasters say the Category 2 hurricane could make landfall as it inches closer to the Carolinas. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, with new information tonight.
From Georgia to the Carolinas and Virginia, the race is on to stay ahead of the storm. With authorities warning the time to evacuate is now.
Don't try to ride it out. It's not worth putting your life at risk or endangering first responders who might have to save you.
The big concern, areas prone to flooding could be fighting several feet of storm surge.
And as we saw a week ago, an 8.5-foot tide in Charleston means streets start getting flooded.
Dorian's rough surf already eroding the beach in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and the storm's surge carving feet out of the dunes. The heavy wind and rain toppling trees and power lines knocking out power to more than 11,000 customers, but most now back online. President Trump receiving another briefing on Dorian today.
We got lucky in Florida, very, very lucky indeed. Hopefully we're going to be lucky. It depends on what happens with South Carolina and North Carolina.
This as the U.S. continues its relief efforts in the Bahamas, where Dorian left behind so much destruction. The Coast Guard rescuing dozens on the ground, while back in Florida, volunteers are doing what they can to help.
These people in the Bahamas have lost everything.
And that's why I'm here to give up. This is the least I can do.
And it's not just in Florida. Help for the Bahamas is being mobilized all across the country. In fact, today the Charleston mayor said that his office has been flooded with calls from people wanting to help. So once the storm passes through their area, they too will be on board. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Well, there is now a new grocery store option for anyone living in Indianapolis. Amazon announced that it will expand its Amazon Fresh service to the Circle City. So starting today, if you are an Amazon Prime member in Indy, you can have groceries delivered from Amazon Fresh. The service offers produce, meat, and anything else you would find in a regular grocery store. Prime members can get Amazon Fresh for about $15 a month as an add-on to your Prime membership.
It's likely happened to you. You receive a friend request on Facebook from someone you thought was already your friend on the site. Their Facebook profile picture is the same, so you think, okay, we must have just gotten disconnected. Working for you, why you should be very careful in this situation. Experts say increasingly friend requests on Facebook are actually from someone spoofing a profile trying to scam you. And once you accept, you may get a private message with some weird offer. Ken Colburn with the company Data Doctors says Facebook has made it easy for scammers to copy public profile pictures, use real names, start a new account, and send requests to everyone on their friends list.
By default, the friends list is public, or in some cases, friends of friends. Both of those will give the spoofers potential access to everyone that you're already friends with.
To check privacy for your friends list, go to Settings, then Privacy, and to the Who Can See Your Friends List section. There you can click on Only Me, so no spoofer can get access to your list. And before accepting any friend requests, check out their profile. A spoofed profile is easy to see. They don't have any posts, and they only have a handful of friends. If you think your profile has been hacked, Colburn says go to Settings, then Security and Login, and to where you're logged in. If the list shows devices that are not yours or places you haven't been, you've likely been hacked and need to change your password. It's always a good reminder to check on all those settings in general.
Yeah.
Just see kind of where you're at, make sure everything's how you want it.
We brought in someone who is the opposite of a spoofer. Not a scammer. That's you, buddy.
Ta-da! If I send you a friend request, it's to give you the forecast. Very hyper-local forecast. I just thought I would show you this. This is the projected path of Dorian over the next several days. So I'll just put this in motion and watch it just crawl up the East Coast, may scrape and make landfall in the Carolinas, but notice the rain not coming inland at all. This will not have an impact much beyond the extreme East Coast. Sometimes we'll get moisture from tropical systems, not in this case, and that's why, as you look at the forecast, dry, dry, dry. Our chance for a shower or thunderstorm on Sunday, just 20%. Certainly not overwhelming, as Dave was just at 16th in Georgetown talking about the dirt track racing tonight, the Brickyard this weekend, everything looking pretty good for all of our out-of-town guests and for those of you Hoosiers that are headed there as well. Tomorrow, 77, lots of sunshine, and that's after starting quite cool. Temperatures will be in the 50s in the morning, some patchy fog around as well. Turn the page, end the work week with a high temperature of 79. One noticeable change, we'll begin to see more in the way of cloud cover as we get into the weekend. Temperature of 76 degrees, our average is 83. Right now, we're just under the 80-degree mark in the Indianapolis. Coolest temperatures to the north. Boy, the lake is still relatively cool this time of year, so temperatures in northern Indiana feeling cooler because of that north wind right off of Lake Michigan. 81 in Bloomington. Say hello to Paris. She's staring right at you, ready to go for a walk this evening. She's a beauty.
Bonjour. Yeah, she's happy to go on a walk.
She is full of energy, and you know where she's going when she returns from her walk, right back to her favorite chair. Thanks, Nellie Thompson, for sending in the picture. Through the evening hours, quite comfortable is one way to look at it. 55 in Indy in the morning, cooler in outlying areas. That's the cool start. Let's check out your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures with low humidity climb to about 77 in the metro area. Temperatures to the north and south won't be much different. You'll still be in the upper 70s in Bloomington and Columbus. Friday forecast, few more clouds around. Temperatures still comfortable in the upper 70s. It will lead to what will become a great Friday night for Friday night football as we step through the day Friday. There are the clouds associated with a cold front. Really won't have much moisture to work with. There's your Friday night forecast, 76 at kickoff time and cooling from there. Into the weekend we go. We'll just keep an eye on that chance for Sunday showers or thunderstorms, but it's only 20% right now. Notice the warmth returns Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, at least 85, maybe a little warmer next Tuesday.
In a big way then.
Yes.
Summer's hanging on.
Definitely is. Well, we'll be right back after this short break.
We're 6th at Old National Center.
Well, a bizarre and dangerous situation all caught on camera.
It's something you would never expect to happen. A tire flies off of a car in a neighborhood near San Diego, California. It rolled across the street and crashed through a fence.
Daryl Solendoggy has 12 surveillance cameras posted around his home. He was taking a shower around 11 Monday evening when he heard a noise.
And Solendoggy thought it was cats in the backyard, but when he woke up the next morning, he discovered his wooden fence, potted plants, and palm tree were severely damaged.
When he played back the cameras, he was shocked at what he saw. That tire steamrolling through his fence. Then, even worse, he noticed a man and woman casually walked into the yard, grabbed the tire, and took off like nothing ever happened.
I was confused why they didn't. Like, doorbell's right there. Like, they had to come through our yard and get their tire. They didn't bother to knock on the window or anything.
Solendoggy filed a report with the Sheriff's Department and hopes the people responsible will come forward.
He says he tends to check his plants at nighttime to see if they're properly watered. Well, he's glad he wasn't out there on Monday night.
Bizarre situation there.
Yeah. Well, take a look at this. ABC News tweeted this video from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol showing a U-Haul slamming into a firefighters on the side of the road there.
But there's some great news here. Police say both firefighters who were hit are okay with no broken bones.
That is remarkable there. Look at that. Woof. The impact. The SUV towing the U-Haul trail lost control when it hydroplaned on a wet road there. That trailer, wow. It's amazing to see. Coming up tonight only on RTV6 News at 6 o'clock, a family enjoying Labor Day at a public park when gunshots are heard nearby. Only at 6 you'll hear from the woman who took the video, who says that it was way too close for comfort.
But first on the Now Indy, a woman in a rage causes thousands of dollars in damage to a local gas station. Why police say she lost it. You're watching RTV6.